It's your girl Sierra Divine back with another video. It's your favorite cutie with the big booty. So you read that title, you seen that thumbnail, and I'm gonna get straight into it. Sorry, notification. My very first video I did 2 months ago. I did it just to put my story out there. I didn't know I was going to get so much support and so much like positive responses. I didn't know I was going to have a few domestic violence survivors on my video as well, but I love each and every one of y'all. I love to see domestic violence survivors. Don't take it the wrong way. I love seeing it because that means that you made it out just like I did. So when somebody says they're when somebody says they're a domestic violence survivor, I love it. I drop that purple heart because it's a lifestyle nobody should go through. It's like hell on earth. That's all I can say. For me, it was, and I'm sure for them, because don't nobody want to live their day-to-day life in fear, scared of if they say something, if they do something, will they get beat? Will it be their last beating because they could possibly die from it? But I just wanted to talk about my experience and why it took me so long to get out. When I look back at the situation with my ex-husband, the warning signs were there, and I was so in lust, that I ignored it. When I first started dating him, we started having sex immediately. So lust took over. Then I guess love, however you want to say it. But anyways, when I first started going to his house, that was my first clue. Because I go over his house at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I didn't have like a class, and I wouldn't leave his house till like early the next morning. I would stay there all day. But what I'm trying to say was, like, when you go to a guy's house and you see holes, like, okay, you feel how hard that wall is. When you go to a guy's house and there's holes in the wall that he has punched in, and y'all can hear, that's a pretty hard wall. So if he has enough energy and strength and anger to punch holes in the wall, it never registered in my head that what if one day he'll do it to you. I wasn't thinking about that. I was so in love. And then it's like, now that I think about it and now that I've been through it, I'm like, imagine him doing that to your head. Like, that's a hard wall. And I'm not even gonna lie, I tried it one time because I'm like, how angry can you be to take your fist and punch a hole through like whatever material they use for walls? But that's one sign. And then another sign was I was living with my dad. This is, I think, I'm not gonna say I know. I've done other stuff because I'm sure y'all watched my other video about how my family betrayed me. Mostly I was talking about my dad. But one of the reasons I don't have a good relationship with my dad was my fault. Because I let my ex-husband, boyfriend at the time, get in my head. Because he'll be like, oh, you need to be hanging out with me. Your dad is always wanting you to come home. Wanting you to do this, do that, come home during curfew. Not thinking that's what I was supposed to do. So that's another sign that people like that who are sick in the head try to tear you away from your family because they want it to just be you and them. They want to control you. They want to get inside your head. Like, that's one of the reasons. Me and my dad was already going through stuff, but me listening to him made it worse, made our relationship like grow further apart. Then on top of that, this might not be a big factor for some people, but you know, when you're dating somebody, how the man tries to court the young lady, he never did that. Like, when we would go out and hang with my friends, he'll like, we'll go to some cheap place like McDonald's. Instead of him paying for my food, because he had money. Instead of him paying for my food, he said, you got it. Show me that you love me. And me being so young and dumb at the time, and I'm going to say it, dick whipped. Excuse my language, YouTube. If I can't say that, beep it out. But digmatized, dick whipped. I'd be like, I gotta prove that I love him. I don't want him to just think I'm with him for his money. So I was taking my allowance my daddy was giving to me to satisfy him. And then after my daddy caught a hold to it, that's when I had to go out and get a job, because my daddy worked hard. He said, I'm not finna give you money just so you can spend on some nigga. And that's basically what he said. And now that I look back at it, it's true. Like, your parents don't want to give you a allowance or money to help you survive the week just for you to go spend it out on some no good ass nigga. And at the time, I didn't know that. And I was just sleeping with this man because I was so in love. I thought that's what love was about. I thought that's what boyfriend and girlfriend did. And from March 2012 to November 2012, we would, you know, have this on a different note. But from March until November, we would just go at it like rabbits. Not once a day, but we were going at it like 5, 6, 7 times a day. And I'm not thinking in my head that I could get pregnant. Like, a couple of times I was like, I'm letting this man do this stuff to me, and he's inside of me, and I hadn't got pregnant yet, so I'm not gonna get pregnant. That was my second mistake, because I'm like, now I'm trapped. And this, he hadn't even shown me that he was abusive, but the warning signs were there, because it's always going to be warning signs of a person is trying to tell you who he is. Like, I seen him, for one, the holes in the wall. For two, him like getting inside my head. And for three, how a man treats his mother, his sister, his grandmother is how he's gonna treat you. And he's the type of man that he's from Atlanta. He's a real nigga. Ain't nobody finna try me. He don't care who they is. Whenever his mama, his sister, his grandma made him mad, I have seen him go off on them. So I'm like, he's not gonna do that to me. I'm his girlfriend. I'm giving him sex whenever I want. He won't do that to me. My dumb self not thinking, if he doing this to his mama, the woman who gave him life, what? He definitely gonna do it to me, y'all. He's definitely gonna do it to me. So that's another thing. And then something that nobody knows, that at the time, I thought, before I gained all the weight from having children, I wanted to like be a model, be in movies and all that. He will not support my dream. That's another sign, in my opinion. Like, your man would be your backbone, support you, be like, go for it, baby. Just be smart about it. So everybody know Atlanta is the Hollywood of the South. So I would like go to this website, casting360.com, and I would answer different ads, and then I would get the email back. Yeah, show up at the photo shoot, you gotta wear this, bring that. Or I would get the email, show up as an extra, you gotta do this, gotta do that. And I would be so excited. He'll be the first one I tell, oh, we're in a new relationship, I gotta tell my boyfriend. And instead of him being happy and be like, baby, I'm proud of you, follow your dreams, because it was my dream. Besides being a teacher, but it was my dream to, make it big and be like featured in Tyler Perry plays. Even though I can't sing worth a lick. But anyways, you gotta start off small and then get up there. But anyways, instead of him saying, I'm proud of you, he be like, you gotta be one of the dumbest people I've ever seen. You gonna fall for that? How you know they not scamming you? How do you know they're not just trying to take your money? Money wasn't a thing to me. Like, my daddy has retired not only from the military, but he has retired from several jobs and still working. So my daddy has plenty of money. I'm going to say it like that. And I was his little baby girl, and he'll give me whatever I want, any money I want. My daddy will give it to me. So my daddy supported me, even though I was ruining our relationship because I'm with you. My daddy, I'd be like, Daddy, I need $200, $300 for this photo shoot. My daddy has gone with me to photo shoots. He supported me. But you, as my man who I'm fucking, you didn't. That's another sign. That's what I think. And lastly, here's the big one, y'all. I got pregnant on Thanksgiving Day in 2012 with our son. I didn't find out till Christmas of 2012. So, I want y'all to do the math. You can be 16, 17, 18. It's common sense. If we're having sex, I don't want to say it too loud because the kids are listening, but if we're having sex 5, 6, 7 times a day, unprotected, and you're not pulling out and I'm letting you nut inside of me from March until November, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we become comfortable around each other, yes, I'm going to get pregnant. But here's what happened when I got pregnant and told him I was pregnant. Here's the big one. Y'all are ready? Y'all ready? It ain't mine. How I know you're not fucking somebody else? Then here's what else he said. You were so quick to fuck me and take the condom off. How I know you're not doing that to some other man? Yep, that's what he said. Not only did he say that, his family said that as well. Now, back it up. Me and his mama were cool when me and him were dating. Me and his mom was like this. It started going downhill in our relationship when I got pregnant with our son. And I'm still up in love, in a trance. I'm not thinking, I'm pregnant by you. And you said the baby's not yours. You think it's somebody else. You and your family is asking me for a DNA test. That's another sign. You could think it's yours if I'm having sex with you 6 to 7 times a day from March until November. Do your math. That's a lot of sex that I could end up pregnant and the baby could be yours. And I'm with you every day for 10, 11, 12 hours a day. Even on the days I had class, he sat outside my classroom. So when did I have time to cheat? Please tell me I didn't. So you would think that you would step up as a man and accept your responsibilities. But here's the thing. April, I don't know what day, but April of 2013, it was on Easter Sunday. I was 4 months pregnant with our son. Me and him got into a fight because, give me a minute, y'all, it will come to me. Basically, we got into a fight. We were not talking. I don't know if it was because him and his family was still asking for a DNA test or it was something else. But we got into a fight. I went to church with my homeboy and homegirl. Yes, like we all went to college together and I end up like hooking them up. But anyways, I went to church with them and I wasn't speaking to him. So that night, it was Easter Sunday, I'll never forget. We was all chilling at their house. Then he came, it was a knock at the door. And then I was looking at him and he sat down next to me, got mad because I wasn't talking to him. So he took my hand and I snatched it. He said, just come on, let me talk to you. Went outside and basically he proposed to me. No ring, he didn't have a ring and he proposed, and that's what I wanted. And I'm not thinking that this man is showing me the signs of who he really is. So I'm 4 months pregnant, we're fighting. That's not a good time to propose to somebody, but I'm young, y'all. I'm like, I think I was 19, 20 at the time, and I was still learning what love is. But I said yes. So I'm gonna fast forward because I don't want this video to be long. But our son was born July 2013. We got married September 6, 2013, the day before my birthday. My birthday is September 7th. Shout out to all the Virgos out there. So we got married October 7th, a month after we got married. That's the first time he hit me. And by then, we had moved in together. Like, we moved in on our wedding day, September 6th. That morning, we moved in, and that evening, we went to the courthouse in Atlanta, got married. If I had the pictures are in a phone that's long gone. But yeah, it was me, him, our baby, Denzel, and my dad. He was our witness. But anyways, but a month after we got married, that's when the abuse started. Now, this time, y'all heard me when I say that I was hypnotized or digmatized, whatever you want to call it. And I was part of the reason me and my daddy don't have a good relationship. So I'm married with a child and I moved in with him. So I'm in Atlanta and my family's back here in Alabama. Don't talk to him, don't communicate, don't see him on holidays. So October 2013, that's when the abuse started. And then by March of 2014, I was tired. I left, took our son, went to a shelter. 2 months after me staying in the shelter, I found out I was pregnant with our daughter. And yes, I'm dumb. While I was in the shelter, we were still seeing each other, hooking up, because I get horny, he'll get horny. So I text him and we'll link up anyways. But anyways, found out I was pregnant with our daughter. I left the shelter June of 2014. I moved in with my dad's girlfriend at the time. No, my dad's ex-girlfriend, but we were still cool. But anyways, I moved in with her, pregnant with I don't think our son was even a year old yet. But anyways, I was living with her. July of 2014, that was our son's first birthday. We were communicating barely about Denzel, or if I'm feeling okay while pregnant, or if we wanted some sex. But we decided to have our son's first birthday at his mom's house. By then, his mom didn't really like me. She didn't care for me, even though in the beginning we had a good relationship. But that goes to show that a mother will never go against her son, because she just thought I was Satan. And I'm like, but your son is beating on me. I left. I'm like, you rather me stay and have your son beat on me than me leave? I will never understand. I still don't understand. But anyways, we was July 2014. we had our son's birthday. And then we were talking. The birthday party was going on, and we went in his room, did the do. And then we had our little pillow talk. And I'm like, I don't feel threatened by you anymore. We're sleeping together. We have another child on the way. So we end up agreeing to move back in. We moved back in with his mom. Because he had the entire downstairs. So, we moved back in with his mom. And everything was going good, I think, for like the first 2-3 months. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe he really did change. But I spoke too soon. Because he hit me only one time. Like, while I was pregnant with our daughter, he didn't really, like, hit me too much. But there was times that I know he wanted to, because when he'll get mad or he'll get drunk, of course, he'll go to the wall and punch a hole. And then he'll look at me. And I'm like, he probably saying in his head, bitch, I wish that was your head. And I'm like, I know he's saying that in his head. But he can't do nothing because I'm pregnant with our daughter. So our daughter was born December 29th, 2014. Oh, when our daughter was born, he couldn't wait for that. Because come January 2015, that's when we were going at it like Mike Tyson. I'm like, I can't fight you. You punch holes in walls. You bench press, bench lift, whatever. I used to see him at the gym, and I'm like, yeah, what have I gotten myself into? But January, after our daughter was born, that's when he got everything he's been holding in and all that type of stuff. And when did I leave? I think I left February or March of 2015, because our daughter was like, I think a month, not even 2 months, because I was like, I can't do it. I'm like, he's going to kill me. So I left and I went to stay, of course, with my dad's ex-girlfriend again. I packed my stuff. I got my son. I got our daughter, and I left. And he didn't hear from me for months. He didn't hear from me until like the summer of that time. Then I ended up moving back in with him because I couldn't move back in with my family, and the people I was staying with were getting tired of me. You know what they say, when people tired of you staying with them, they'll start making you uncomfortable. I was getting uncomfortable. And then I'm like, we're back talking. We're back on good terms. So, no. I stand corrected. I didn't move back in with him yet. I didn't move back in with him to 2016 because 2015 is where I had an affair. And I would do a story time on that. I had an affair because I thought we would never get back together. And I'm like, we're done for good. We even went as far as getting divorce papers ready, signing and everything, but we never filed them. But I'm going to tell you all another story time about my affair in 2015 that left me pregnant. And I ended up having another baby May of 2016. And that story is drama within itself. But if I tell y'all that story, this is going to be like a 50-minute video. But I'm going to just put a pin in that, and I'll tell you that story next time. But anyways, this is going to be May of 2016. I didn't have my baby. I was working at the airport in Atlanta, thriving, getting that good money. So I went and got an apartment. By this time, our children, my son was walking, my daughter was walking. So I got an apartment, and he ended up moving back in with me. Now, I spent all my money trying to get an apartment. And then, incident occurred at the airport, and I ended up getting let go. So I had a hard time paying my rent, and I just got the apartment. That made him mad. So he He moved out his mama's house. Him and his mama got into a fight and he moved in with me. Then he's mad at me because he was like, I just destroyed my mama's house, got into it with her, got to boxing with her and moving with you just for us to get ready to get evicted and have to move back in. So I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. But basically, the incident I told y'all about in my story time happened in 2017 because, like I said, I had a baby in 2016. So that's another thing that pissed him off and that added on to the fuel of the fire. Once you... It does something to a man's ego that once he finds out somebody else has had it and you have another baby for a man, and I end up getting back with him, I felt like he looked at me differently after that. On top of the abuse, I felt like he secretly looked at me differently because I had an affair and had another man's baby. But here's the catch I'm going to tell y'all. He had an affair as well. And the girl he was sleeping with got pregnant, but he used his money to get her an abortion. I didn't have the money to get an abortion, so I had no choice but to have my baby. But like I said, put a pin in that. That's going to be another story time. But basically, what I want to say was that anybody, it's not always... I got to sneeze. Basically, I just want to say the signs were there. Before I even married this man, the signs were there. And I wish I had my eyes open and I was not so stigmatized. I would have never got caught up and married him. I'm grateful for our 2 children. Y'all always see them on the video with me. They're beautiful. And I'm glad to God they're here. Because if they weren't here, I would probably be out doing God knows where. I'd probably be homeless because I would have given up a long time ago. But it's them who have been keeping me motivated. I'm like, they deserve to have food, a roof over their heads. So, and I love them to death. But I'm not going to try to keep y'all any longer. I just wanted to tell y'all that's my story of the domestic violence, of why I kept going back, because I had no family, because my daddy was hurt. I'm sure that I chose a man over him and that I was like doing stuff he wasn't proud of. I didn't have no family to go to help me that once I left to stay gone. It always ended up with me somehow being homeless. I was trying. I had jobs now, but I couldn't like just stay afloat. So he always had a roof over his head because he could always go back to his mom's house. Like my dad's the type of person that once you move out, you're not coming back. So I'm like, well, we're technically still married. We never filed the papers. We have children together. So we might as well give our marriage another try. So if y'all wanted to know, because I did get a few questions in my inbox, that's one of the reasons I kept going back. I stayed gone officially because there were angels at I love this church in Atlanta, Elizabeth Baptist Church on Cascade Road. One church, 5 locations. But you all think that them big churches, the pastors don't know their members' name. My pastor knew me and I didn't even know him. He knew my name. And then we had a women's conference. This is 2017, y'all. I was at the conference. Me and the kids was in the car leaving, but something kept saying, cut your car off and go back in the sanctuary. And I'm glad I did because it changed my life. Like the women, I told the first lady, and the first lady, you know, she gathered some people and the people were talking to me. I'm not saying names because I'm protecting their identity, but it's this one lady. She said, I own an apartment complex. I have a program for people like you. I said, I've been there before. I'm going to come to your shelter and then you give us 90 days and we got to get out. She said, I will never kick you out. She said, you can stay as long as you want. She even had people there because it was a conference. So she bring the women from her program there, you know, how do I say it? to get in touch with God. But she had one of the women come in the back room and talk to me. And then she said, I've been here since 2000. I said, 2000 what? She said 2000. I said, it's 2017. She said, yes. She said, Mrs. will never kick you out. If you feel like you're not ready, you don't have to go. That night changed my life, y'all. As you can see, I'm not with him and I'm doing good. And I thank God every day that I went to that conference that night. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't probably know half of y'all, because I'd be dead in my grave. So I'ma just say, like, comment, subscribe, and I will have another story time coming about my affair and my other child. Because if you're not watching CierraDevineTV, what you doing?